It was Moss the Chronicler who said that the land of Valisthea is blessed in the light of the Mother Crystals, and that it was this light which finally led our forebears out of the darkness. Yet, what they saw in the light gave rise to temptation. Temptation that ever lures us back into the crystal shadow. And thus did our journey begin.
Okay, we are starting in pretty epic fashion already. Phoenix versus Ifrit. This is probably like the ending of the demo from the start. This has got to be like probably somewhere along the finale. It's getting closer. Yeah, I think I got hit there. Yeah. I think I evaded it that time. But shouldn't we be healing it if we're doing fire damage? Isn't that how Final Fantasy works? These two would just heal each other. Strong music to start.
It'll be light soon. Both camps have begun to stir.
You all know the target. Shiva's dominant. And only the dominant.
No one else? Where's the fun in that? How do we even know the girl will be among them?
Our kind do not question orders. We follow them. Try to keep that in mind. Let's get this done.
Focus, Wyvern. You are key to this mission's success.
Yes, Sergeant.
Alright, here we go.
I said focus, Wyvern.
Yeah. I gotta do some introductory talking. So yeah, of course, you know, as part of the playthrough style, it's how I've always done it. I will be taking breaks to just like share my thoughts and feelings, especially in this like the earliest episodes. Definitely happens a lot more. So the playthrough might take a little bit longer than it does for some other people, but that's how I've kind of always done it.
We don't have time for this. All hell is about to break loose.
Trust me, we have time for this. So yeah, literally what I did in my test was I left Clive here and I recorded for like 4 hours just to make sure my recording didn't break. Now, straight off the bat, we had a very kind of high octane start, Ifrit versus Phoenix. Then we had like the little touch of magic with the campfire and that kind of thing. They're trying to let you know immediately like that there is definitely Final Fantasy here, because of course a lot of the discourse is about like, oh, you know, how much does it look like a Final Fantasy? Does it play like a Final Fantasy? Is this even a Final Fantasy game? Or do they just slap the Final Fantasy name on it and just throw in some chocobos and call it Final Fantasy? I'm pretty certain this is going to be a very Final Fantasy game, but it remains to be seen. I'm not just going to take everything as a given. We're going to play through and we're going to see. But already within the first few minutes, there's already obviously very strong signs there. Now, one thing I did quickly notice was that the motion blur in this game is kind of odd. So I'm going to move the camera a bit more quickly here. Just Clive's hair is the best indication here. This motion blur is strange, and I've asked a few people about it, and they've said, yeah, like it definitely looked weird for us too. I'm hoping it's something that maybe gets a bit patched. Obviously, a lot of games have motion blur, but this one's particularly kind of bad. I think it's a little bit better on performance mode, but if you go slowly, as you can see, slow pans are fine. But when you start to go quicker, it is a little bit jarring, but it's a minor. I mean, the game looks gorgeous. The details, like in these cliffs and all that kind of stuff, the fog, the atmosphere, the character models, everything looks really nice. It's just such an important Final Fantasy game. I mean, when you think back through the history of the franchise, let's just take 13 trilogy and 15 since 2009 in terms of new installments for the mainline series. That's all we've gotten. And so 16, like, of course, I like 13. I've always been a fan of 13. And 15 I don't think is a bad game by any means. But I think the Final Fantasy series has been missing a hit, like a mainline hit. And I really, really hope this game is that, and it's the dawn of a new era for the franchise moving forward. So I really want this game to do well, and I have high hopes. Now, just a quick one. I'm not sure if I like having the speaker names. I feel like, for me, I like my subtitles to kind of be there and be helpful kind of thing, but like as unobtrusive as possible. So this is really good. If you've watched some of my recent playthroughs, some games have really annoying, like large, weirdly positioned subtitles. This one is definitely much better, and so I'm happy to include it, especially when I'm commentating or you're sort of walking around, there's NPCs talking and stuff. It definitely helps to have subtitles as well for viewers too, not just for me. Okay, let's keep things going.
Time to move.
So we play more opportunities to talk as we play through.
We're just in time. This is going, they won't need this new dominant of theirs. What?
To the gates! Quickly! Move!
What do you mean, you refuse? did you not pledge your swords to our cause?
Come now. Marshal, the King of Waloed is our guest.
And you have His Majesty's answer.
I wonder that you summoned us at all. Have you so little faith in your own men? It was the Dalmex who drove back the Crusaders in the Battle of the Twin Realms, was it not? Or am I mistaken? Besides, your dominant has yet to take the field. And when he does, our knights would only get in the way.
Perhaps you have not heard, but the Ironblood now have their own dominant. We would be fools to underestimate them.
Bugger their knights.
What did you say?
Should this citadel be allowed to fall, the capital will lie exposed. And I doubt the Crusaders will wait for the good king's pawns to line up before taking to the board. Which just leaves me.
Hoka!
The Ironblood will rue the day they set foot on Storm. This game is over.
You cock.
Benedicta.
Take care.
Does the lion take care when he chases the hare? Or do you think me one of the latter?
No, my love. You are a lion. You're my lion.
I'm not afraid of a little frost, Benedicta. But I will need someone to warm me when I come home.
The front lines are gone. This is our chance. The chaos will conceal us.
Yeah, so in case anyone isn't aware, this game is rated M, by the way. So you're going to be, I'm pretty sure there's like F-bombs and that kind of thing, and there's obviously more mature things going on screen. So in case you were surprised by that, then definitely keep that in mind. But yeah, watching those chocobos kind of ride into battle did give me some Operation Mi'ihen vibes. Literally got chocobo knights. A lot of cutscenes to start.
And quick and deadly, as always. Take the van.
Wait. Something's not right.
Titan. So the Darmok finally grew tired of being slaughtered.
And look who's here to greet the bastard.
Come on.
You don't get to die here, Wyvern. Move!
Wow, these scenes are really well shot and choreographed, I have to say. And I thought it when I saw the first ever trailer for this game. The Shiva in this game is one of the best Shivas I've ever seen. It just looks incredible. And so far, at least, especially the FMVs. I mean, if there's one thing that Final Fantasy is in the modern age, it's high quality cutscenes and FMVs, and well, this game's oozing that quality right now. Like some of the transitions, the camera shots, all that kind of stuff is looking really, really nice. I just want to watch more of Shiva versus Titan. And yes, I can F-bomb in this playthrough. Yay! I don't really do it anymore if the game isn't like a mature rated game. Well, I can't run there. No. But with hey, if it's got F-bombs in the game, I will F-bomb now and then. I've been warned.
Who's gonna stand there?
Wyvern! Wyvern!
I told you before, you do not get to die here.
you yield? Well, if you're not cut out to be a shield, there's always work for you in the stables. Unless, of course, you think you can defend your master while sat on your arse in a puddle of pig swill.
I'm sure he'd find a way. My brother always looks after me. Right?
Go on. You're sure to hit him eventually.
Don't give up now.
Oh my god.
Two arms, then. It wouldn't do to disappoint the gallery.
Yeah, forget the brother. Everything I do in this game, I do it for
Let's start
Doggo.
again from the beginning. Come, show me your form.
Melee attacks. So this is going to be such a crucial part of this game. And for me personally, and I'm sure for a lot of other people, especially people that have been playing the franchise for a long time, it's all been about this gameplay. Hey, you know, the director of Devil May Cry is the battle director for this game. It's got a much more fast-paced action feel. Are we going to be able to adapt? Can us, like Final Fantasy dinosaurs, get with the times and enjoy a game like this? Well, we're about to find out. So let's see how this how this gameplay is going to work. Get an early taste. Melee attacks. Press square to perform melee attacks. Up to 4 can be chained together. Okay, having a lock on is always good.
Good. Again.
As always, I think the thing with this is to try and not mash it like 8 times, if that makes sense. Like, actually press it 4 times. That's something I always find very difficult.
Very good. Such swordsmanship will serve you well in the field. But can the same be said of your spellcraft? The flames of the Phoenix burn within you. Now let them burn without. Come, Clive. Rain fire down upon me.
Also, to me, this is a pivotal part of Final Fantasy gameplay, because one of the things I really disliked about 15's gameplay was the way that they use magic. To me, like, again, the never-ending debate about what even is a Final Fantasy game. For me, like, the magic has to come into it, and you've got to be able to use magic. Like, there's got to be mage-type characters, or your protagonist has to have the ability to use magic in some kind of way. If it's like 95% kind of sword stuff and magic gets relegated to be this, like, we kind of threw it in just because it's Final Fantasy, then I think the Final Fantasy feel in terms of the gameplay suffers a bit. But immediately the second tutorial piece is already for magic here, and so for me that's a nice sign. I think 7 Remake did a great job with keeping the magic involved, even though it's kind of faster paced in action. So I think that's pretty cool. Press triangle to cast fire, a ranged spell that can strike enemies from great distances. I like that. Okay. Yeah, so he's blocking as well, so I assume we'll be able to do some blocks on stuff like this as well.
Keep them coming.
Okay.
Well done. You wield the Firebird's flames just as a first shield should.
You flatter me, my lord.
Or would you rather I flattened you? Can be arranged. Let's see if you can elude my blade. After all, your attacking prowess will count for naught if you don't live long enough to use it.
Oh boy, here we go. This is where it starts
On your
getting...
toes, Lord Rossfield.
This is where it starts getting a bit more difficult, of course. People aren't as huge on the action. Press R1 to evade. Can we not make it... I wonder if there's a different button mapping to make it circle instead. Evading an attack at the precise moment it is dealt will temporarily slow the enemy, making it more susceptible to counter using square or triangle. Okay. I will try.
What are you doing?
Come on!
There you go. Okay. That wasn't so bad.
Good. Remember, Clive, your blade is not your only weapon. Quickness of thought and fleetness of foot are indispensable arms in any shield's arsenal. But you are not just any shield, are you? Show me what sets you apart from the rest. You have been blessed by the Phoenix, granted the use of its power. Call upon that power now to close on me.
Okay.
Well, I'm waiting.
So a bit of a warping thing we've got here. Iconic feats. The blessing of the Phoenix grants Clive the ability to perform feats of inhuman strength and dexterity. Phoenix Shift is one such iconic feat. Press circle to swiftly close in on a distant target. Both melee and ranged attacks can be used while executing a Phoenix Shift. Okay.
Impressive. But even the most agile shield cannot hope to escape every blow. And death may come by a handful of cuts as easily as it comes by 1,000. There is only one way to ensure that you do not fall. Keep your wounds mended and your energies replenished. Speaking of which, my lord, you seem a little worse for wear. Now that won't do at all.
Yeah, this guy should visit YouTube in a few months' time and watch all of like the hitless runs that they do for this game. No doubt. Consumable items such as potions and tonics can be used to restore Clive's HP or temporarily boost attributes. Okay. Sure. This should at least be familiar.
That'll have to be for now.
That's better. Battle is a succession of pivotal moments, wherein life and death can be decided at a single stroke. You must be ready to utilize every tool at your disposal if you are to navigate a path to victory. Or at the very least, to ensure that you live to fight another day. Enough practice. It's time for the test. You've recovered from your soaking, I trust. You wouldn't want to kick a man while he's drowned.
I thought you'd never ask.
Come then, Lord Rosfield. Spar with me. If you believe yourself worthy to be called Shield of the Flame, then prove it.
As you wish, my lord.
Yeah, he's got that little bit of fire and that attitude when he needs it. I like that.
Boy. Make proof of your strength.
Oh boy. Okay. Final lesson. Defeat the Lord Commander. Breaking an opponent's will. The will gauge indicates an opponent's will to fight back. Break their spirit by landing attacks and strike them when they are vulnerable. So there's like the stagger gauge is now called the will gauge kind of thing.
Go on, you're sure to beat him this time.
You can do it, Clive. Just stay calm.
Oh, I got hit that time. I'm not used to dodging with R1. I think that's going to be a bit of a struggle for me. Okay, we did one of those. Lord Murdoch's will has been broken, leaving him... Yeah, so it's basically a stagger gauge. Try dealing as much damage as you can before he regains his senses. Use R2 plus square to execute Rising Flames, a powerful iconic ability granted Clive by the blessing of the Phoenix. Oh, nice. Yeah, so it has a cooldown. It's only a one-time thing, of course.
Well, it's time I took my own advice. I used all the tools at my disposal.
Wow. So I'm trying to dodge a bit here. Trying to get my dodge timing a little bit. So basically, if you play story mode, I think the window, like you have an item that makes dodging a lot easier. I don't think it makes it automatic, but you get a much bigger window to do it. Yeah, so you got to dodge more quickly.
Disappoint me, Clive.
I love that he heals you from this. There you go.
You'd be dead.
Don't
No, I wouldn't be dead.
You know I can't bring people back.
There you go.
Not quite.
There you go. See?
Nice try.
Now it's starting to flow. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, dodging obviously going to need practice as always, but hey.
Bested at last. It's taken me long enough. That was a display worthy of your father. You are a true shield of the flame, and let no one tell you otherwise. Including me. What are you lot gawping at? Back to your drills.
Joshua, I was just tired. The Phoenix's flames are a gift. You mustn't waste them.
It isn't a waste. My shields look after me. Why shouldn't I?
That's why. You were coughing this morning too. You shouldn't be outdoors.
I'll be fine. It's just a cold.
Don't push yourself.
His Grace has returned!
Father's back.
Hey.
Your Grace, please, this is no place for one such as you.
I would gladly brave hell itself to see my darling boy. Gentlemen, Rosaria thanks you for your indefatigable loyalty.
Thank you, Your Grace. We live to serve.
Joshua. You should not be out of doors. We have discussed this.
I'm sorry.
Good day to you, Mother.
Come, Joshua. Your father will be expecting us. Lord Murdoch?
Your Grace.
What a way to treat your own flesh and blood.
I know. It's not his fault. Not everyone can be born the Phoenix.
We should join them.
Rise, my friends.
Welcome home, Father.
Thank you, Joshua. You are well, I trust?
Yes, Father. Much better. Today, Jill and I went to the Bailey to watch Clive's spa.
Is that so?
Quiet, Toggle. Stop it, boy. Not now.
You'll make a fine hound one day.
Father.
Lift up your head, girl.
Thank you, Your Grace.
The capital rejoices at your safe return, Your Grace.
War is coming, my boy. We must make ready.
Is the situation truly so grave?
Come to the throne room. We will talk there.
Yes, Father.
Your Grace.
Shields dismissed.
Torgal. Where do you think you're going, Clive here is off to see the Archduke.
Right.
There we go, back to some gameplay. Sunrise, sunset. Finding your way. Should you find yourself lost, do not fret. Hold down L3 and trust in your animal instinct to point you in the right direction. Your current destination will be displayed with a thing. Okay. Is it wrong for me?
Brewing.
I'm not sure. I need to speak with Father.
Is it wrong of me to say that Torgal's my favourite character so far? He is absolutely adorable. Look at him. Look at him. Oh my god. He's the best. I love him already. So at least he has a more positive relationship with his father, I guess. Who does seem like the very kind of stereotypical good king. You know, you always have like the evil mad king, then you have the good king that everyone like genuinely likes and respects. He seems like that guy. So if I had to guess, finding items... Useful items can be found across the realm by those who know where to look. Items discovered can be viewed on the items tab in the main menu. Sure. Yeah, so because he is the good king, I could kind of see him dying. I think it's that kind of story. The medieval vibes, the Game of Thrones vibes, all of that stuff coming together. Usually there's a lot of death and tragedy in those kind of stories. So I'm thinking of like Final Fantasy IV that had a lot of deaths in it. Some spoilers for Final Fantasy IV if you've never played it for like the next 20 seconds. But the only thing about Final Fantasy IV was that it had a lot of that, but then also a lot of them kind of end up not dying. So there were characters you thought were dead and they turned out not to be. But I think in this game it's definitely not going to pull its punches like that.
Preparation is key. We must be ready to march at any time.
You don't need to tell this one. She's raring to go.
I mean, they've definitely already, the early signs are nice for making the towns feel pretty alive.
Make sure you get a good edge on that, eh?
Another obviously very important aspect of any Final Fantasy game is the world that it's set in, and like how good are the locations, like both visually, atmosphere-wise, population-wise, all of that kind of stuff. Right. And early signs are good.
Let's get this stuff unpacked before the dust.
Make sure all the crystals are accounted for.
I do kind of miss a little bit like actively talking to NPCs. Does that make sense? Like having a prompt to talk to them. I don't think that exists.
It's us or them.
But I think if there's NPCs that specifically want to talk to you, I think then you'll have a prompt instead. But these are kind of just... Oh, there you go, see?
Forgive me, my lord, but I need to finish inspecting these crystals.
Wouldn't do to give our soldiers spent shards.
And well, again, as someone who's been playing the older Final Fantasies, there's a crystal or two in the older Final Fantasy games. It's amazing how often it appears. Did I miss the other item? Shit.
Good as new. Forgive me, Lord Marquess, pray do not concern yourself with this bungling cur. Bow to him, you fool. But I say to speak.
It was no trouble, really.
Oh, do not indulge him. To be allowed to stand in your lordship's presence is more than his kind deserves. Why, neither the Empire nor the Republic treat their bearers half so well. He was lucky to be born in your father's dominion. Very lucky, as I remind him every day.
Stand, please.
Start.
I trust his good fortune will continue.
Of course, if that is your lordship's wish.
Don't work too hard. Remember, it is for the good of the duchy that you serve.
As do we all, my lord.
As do we all.
Come along now. Back to your duties.
Yeah, they're already doing a nice job of making Clive a likable young man. I mean, he's already got that sort of humbleness.
Looks like they're getting ready for supper.
I think someone's hungry.
That his father has. Like, his father, you already saw, like, you know, lift your head and that kind of stuff. Clive's sort of cut from the same cloth, you can tell. And the respect that he showed the slave was really good to see.
I'm having my bearer filled well, my lord. Best to save what crystals we can, eh?
This war ends up dragging on. Starr.
I don't know if they have different lines.
I'm having my bearer filled well, my lord. Best to save what crystals we can, eh?
Yeah, and well, based on what I know from this game and what we've seen so far, it is basically like a kind of a single protagonist story. We're not going to have a party. I think there's going to be like guest characters coming in. Oh wow, okay, wasn't expected to parkour there, but it is mostly going to be the Clive story and the Clive show, so they really have to get him on point. And I think so far at least, he's got a lot of the things that would make us root for him as a character. He's the underdog, obviously as a result of not being born as the dominant of the Phoenix or whatever. And obviously the hardship he's having to face as a result of that. But despite his privilege in this realm, he's still like a nice, humble, respectable young man. So he's a likable character so far.
Fine display, my lord. Almost felt sorry for the Lord Commander.
And well, of course, he's going to end up being best buddies with Torgal, so all the signs are there so far. Okay, I think at this stage we're
Wheat
done.
harvest's down again, apparently. If this war ends up dragging on, we'll starve.
Best fill our bellies while we can.
I think objectively, the thing I like the least so far is the motion blur. At times it does get a bit jarring. I think when it's busier environments, you don't notice it as much. Obviously, when it's like a clear sky, let's say, and you do it, you notice it more. But there are a few times where it kind of just takes my attention when it shouldn't be. But I'm sure my eyes are going to get used to it. Now, one other thing, let's have a look at this menu before we go in, because there has been a lot of cutscenes, and there's going to continue to probably be a lot of them. Let's have a look at this quickly before we head in. Attack, defense, stagger, strength, vitality, will. Now, already first thing, there's no magic here, which I find interesting. Maybe stagger, like magic is an important component of staggering. So the stagger number is actually like his, kind of more like a magic stat, I'm not sure. Let's see what it says. The ability to overwhelm an opponent is determined via a combination of mental aptitude and gear quality. The higher the total value, either is knockdown targets. Fair enough. Player will directly affect stagger's ability. Okay, cool. I love the little pixel like party member thing. That's really cool. So I was talking about party, and there are going to be times when it's not Clive by himself for sure. But yeah, I like that little touch. There's definitely a lot of throwbacks to the older games too, so I am enjoying that. Yeah, so lots of, I will have a look. I'm not going to read absolutely everything, but if there's things that kind of capture my attention, then I will definitely read some of this stuff. Like the blade of this particular weapon is approximately a hand shorter than those used by most, making it more suitable for a squire not yet fully grown. So I kind of like that. So let's get this sort of administrative stuff out of the way as well. And then it will just make it easier to just keep flowing with the story. Okay. So, I mean, it's all here already. Increases defense by 30% for 90 seconds. 20% and 40%. Okay, fair. I prefer the percentage method for these, because when you have like potion restores 100 health points, then you end up with a lot of like unnecessary items after a certain point. I think it keeps them relevant for longer. Curiosities. A brazen seal received by all ducal shields upon completion of their accolade. So like key items almost, I guess. And then we have the journal, and this is obviously the quest log, I guess. Yeah, main story progress as well as current and completed side quests. Cool. Obviously we'll look into more of that as time goes on. Gear and icons tab used for equipping weapons and armor, as well as assigning iconic abilities to available slots. Yeah, okay, it's a bit early days for that kind of stuff. And let's have a look at the saves. Yeah, so the fact that you can create multiple saves is also nice, I have to say. So that's also good. We'll definitely be needing that. And with that, we can continue. So I think I've had a general look around here. And I will resume. We've got more cutscenes to come. Also, quick thing, the slave also had the same branding that older Clive does too on his face. Like the tarnished branding. Lowly tarnished.
Nice and quiet in here, isn't it?
Wow. Looks nice.
There's Joshua.
Clive,
Are you worried about the war?
The soldiers will expect the Phoenix to help them, but I don't know if I can.
Don't worry, Joshua. Father will guide you. And I will protect you. Always.
I know. Thank you, Clive.
Yeah. Remember what happened before we started this sort of flashback phase. And look at that wind magic. Put in work. Nice. I like that they've really integrated it more into the what's going on in the world too. Again, something that I think featured a lot more in the older Final Fantasies, which I did enjoy a lot too. I always go back to the really cool example of oh god damn it, I forgot the name. Basically the character in Final Fantasy IV, because I've been playing so many of them back to back, I'm starting to mix up their names. The character in Final Fantasy IV who has their village burned down, and as a result, because of the trauma from that, they can't use the fire spell for a while. Like that kind of stuff I think is genius. I always enjoy those touches in these games. So it's nice to just see like magic being used in these kind of ways as well. Whoops. Stepped on the flowers, but I think that's definitely cool.
Or Marquis. Forgive my man, he'll be done in a jiffy. Just getting the place tidied up for the big procession.
Yeah, for Final Fantasy IV, I remember like obviously Kain, Cecil, and then there was like Sid and all these other characters too. But it's I've played too many of the old school Final Fantasies back to back. Work shirking gardener.
My lord, it's not how it looks. I'm inspecting the castle walls by order of the Duchess.
Are you now? Okay. Yeah, I'm going to have to annotate the character I'm talking about. In my head I've got Realm, but Realm's from Final Fantasy VI. So, yeah, I'll have to... It's not in my head right now. Any more lines from Joshua?
I'm alright. I promise.
That child is the future of our nation. He must be protected. All other concerns are insignificant.
Mother? Making an effort. Some large gates and stifflies require... Okay. Sure. Just a little bit of that PS5 controller extra features.
Good luck.
You commanded my presence, Your Grace. How may I serve you?
All right, you can stop licking my boots. Your mother isn't here.
Do the territories fare any better?
Most lie under a pall of black. In just these few moons, the Blight has taken nigh on all of the northern reaches. It is only a matter of time before it crosses the border.
Bioflames.
Nearly every available bed in the capital is already occupied by those fleeing the Deadlands. Even if we were to send them south, to Port Isolde, more would only follow in their wake. Every day we delay brings us closer to disaster. We must move now.
Against the Iron Kingdom.
We have traded blows with them for too long. It is time to end it.
At the very least, we must secure Drake's breath. Without the blessing of the Mother Crystal, we cannot defend our realm from the spread of the Blight.
The Iron Blood will not relinquish it easily. This will be a bitter fight.
We ride for Phoenix Gate tomorrow. There we will listen to the words of our ancestors, as tradition dictates.
Am I to go with you as Joshua's shield?
There is something else I would have you do first. Rodney.
You will have heard the reports, I am sure, of beastmen from the north being sighted within our borders.
Goblins in the Stillwind Marshes. I know of the rumors, yes.
Then you know what must be done. I will give you 2 good men. While we ride north tomorrow, you will journey to Stillwind, search it and clear it. Then you will join us at Phoenix Gate.
It is time to prove your strength. And shut your mother up for good.
I will do my duty, Your Grace.
That will be all. Rest well. We ride at dawn.
Yes, Your Grace.
Active time lore. Yeah, okay. Hold, okay, to access the active time lore feature, a compilation of important information relevant to Clive's current storyline progression. ATL can even be viewed during most cutscenes. Yeah, that's one thing I knew that this existed, but I was like, I personally wouldn't use it. I wouldn't interrupt cutscenes to read lore. And especially, I think, if you're playing the game with people watching, interrupting cutscenes to read lore, I think it's just not a good idea. But it's something I can definitely access later. So all ATL entries can be accessed later in the game. So I think that's good. Make for the throne room. Retire to your chambers. Yeah, they have an interesting dynamic. Archduke Elwyn.
We drove the Iron Blood from our shores once before, but their patriarch still dreams of spreading his message to Storm. And when the Crusaders march, they move a damn sight quicker than the Blight ever did.
So we recapture the Mother Crystal, end their ambitions, and secure the duchy.
Only the light of the Phoenix can guide us through these dark days. But that does not mean I'm happy asking this of Joshua. Look after him, won't you?
Even if it costs me my life.
Let's make sure it doesn't come to that.
Yeah, obviously with the narrative that they have here, with this like the icon slash basic summons being much more closely tied to the actual like people in the story, that's one of the story aspects I found the most interesting, like in the early going for this game, with the traders and all that kind of stuff. I feel like that makes for a very unique premise, because like in 15, for example, the summons were like these sort of like gods, basically like godly deities that sort of had like a fleeting Like they would come and go when they please and all that kind of stuff. Like I get why, and that is also obviously another way to use them, but to have them be this closely tied to like the humans, like the individuals in the story, I think that's definitely really interesting. And my mind goes to like when you have a new dominant, let's say when Joshua's born, they're so vulnerable. Like I don't know, do they try to keep it a secret so that other kingdoms don't know? I think it must be a very closely, like tightly held secret. But then, of course, it's at least in this realm, it's pretty obvious who the dominant of Phoenix is. So, I mean, having it that known, that this little kid holds the power of Phoenix within him, surely that makes him a massive, massive target. And so, yeah, of course he's got shields and all that, but it's a very dangerous game, I have to say, to have like a little kid with all that power.
This war we mean to wage, it isn't only for control of the Mother Crystal. Above all else, we cannot allow those Ironblood savages to gain a foothold on Storm.
I know. I would sooner die than see them darken our shores again. I wish you a safe journey tomorrow.
And I you, Clive. May your blade strike true.
Alright, let's get out of here and let's start doing our first kind of mini little quest. I don't know if there's any access here. Might be. Okay, I think this is where we have to go anyway. But yeah, I mean, so far so good. In general, like the medieval kind of Game of Thrones-y vibe and aesthetic is not what I personally enjoy, but other than that, I mean, I'm definitely, it's a strong start. I'm already kind of getting into the characters and the story and the premise and that kind of thing. So I'm definitely enjoying it, and I'm sure like for the whole like me generally not enjoying that stuff, Game of Thrones ended up becoming a show I got pretty addicted to. So like if the story and the characters and the plot lines and stuff are on point, then I don't really care too much about the setting, the aesthetic, and all that kind of stuff. It will, if the rest of the elements are strong enough, it will definitely really come together. And of course, just because this one specific area has a bit of a medieval Game of Thrones kind of look, it obviously doesn't mean everywhere in the whole game is going to be like that. I'm sure we're going to see lots of really diverse and cool looking areas. So yeah, it's definitely a strong start so far.
No messages, my lord.
Okay, let's retire.
How long will you be away this time?
Not long. 4 days, maybe 5.
And you will be taking Joshua?
Well, I can't exactly leave him behind, can I? The blood of the Rosfields runs in his veins. Before going to war, we perform the rite at Phoenix Gate. It's our way. You know that. And only the dominant can enter the apothecary, so yes, I'm taking Joshua.
Oh, to hell with your way! The boy is ill.
You think I don't know that? But the boy is also the Phoenix. The heir to the throne. You can't keep him in swaddling clothes all of his life.
Elwyn!
Don't worry. Clive will watch over him. Though he is a youth of but 15 years, he's already a fine soldier. He will make a splendid shield.
You see more in him than the Phoenix did. He was rejected, Elwyn. Our household has no place for such a failure. He is worthless, a man like any other.
As am I, my dear.
Nonsense. You are the Archduke of Rosaria.
Oh, not this again. You know as well as I do that I only sit upon the throne because my father was taken before his time. I am merely warming the seat till Joshua comes of age.
You are your father's firstborn son, and you sit upon the throne. All is in its right place. Unlike some, You have not disgraced our noble blood.
Without men like Clive to keep us safe, your precious noble blood would long since have graced the gutter. We have an early start. I'm going to sleep.
Sheesh, that face, man. You can tell so much expression from it. So much contempt.
This is it then. Time to prove yourself.
Wishing on a star?
I'm a little old for that. I should get some sleep.
Right. You're going with them tomorrow, aren't you?
I am Joshua's shield. I'm sworn to protect him. He takes too many risks. I only wish I could save him from himself.
Clive, you...
I have another mission too. Father has given me my first command.
Well, if you're not going to pray to Metia for your safe return, I shall just have to do it for you. There's going to be another war, isn't there? Since coming here, I've begun to take peace for granted. I assumed the war between our nations would be the last. But it never really ends, does it?
No. The next war will be bigger than before.
But you'll be all right, won't you, Clive? You're a shield of Rosaria, after all, and blessed by the Phoenix.
It's getting cold. We should go in. My lady.
Good night, Clive.
Sorry, Ambrosia. We won't be hunting today.
Don't worry. I'm sure you'll do brilliantly.
I'll try.
Good luck!
Friends, we ride for Phoenix Gate. May the blessing of the crystals go with us
and shield the Firebird's flame forevermore!
His grace departs! Open the gates!
Lord Rosfield, allow me. I shall see her safely to Phoenix Gate.
Thank you.
We're ready to depart, my lord.
May I say what an honor it is to serve alongside you?
This is to be no mere investigation. If there are goblins in Stillwind, they won't leave willingly. The beastmen are a fierce foe. We underestimate them at our peril.
Not today, we won't.
Sir Wade, Sir Tyler, let us do our duty.
With pleasure, my lord.
As you command.
To the marshes, then. And may the blessing of the crystals go with us.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's already got his father's like leadership kind of charisma going on. Ah, okay. Cool. World map. The world map displays all the locations indicated by glowing pins, currently available to Clive via fast travel. Nice. Sure. Stillwind. There was a time not long ago that the songs of civilization echo through Stillwind's knotted boughs. Now, the settlements lie abandoned, and the only sounds to escape this forsaken place are the howls of beasts that have fled the deadlands to make the bogs their home. Let's go. Even that, like a map, it does remind me a bit of the Game of Thrones kind of title sequence, a little bit like the map thing there. These are not bad comparisons, by the way. Like I said, I'm a big fan. Except Season 8.
Keep your eyes open for those goblins. The reports place them in this area.
It's all swamps from here. What's your step, my lord?
And everything else.
So I think we saw him fighting a Malboro in the first trailer. So I wonder if the Malboro is like the final thing here. Timely accessories. Feeling overwhelmed? Try equipping one or more of the 5 timely accessories. So this is like I mentioned before, the story mode kind of thing. For example, the Ring of Timely Strikes allows its wearer to chain complex attacks combos only using square. The Ring of Timely Focus slows time before an incoming attack, allowing for extended evasion window. As with all items, timely accessories can be equipped and unequipped on the gear tab in the main menu. So the fact that this is available to you throughout, whenever you want it, I think is really nice. And like I say, I really do think that everyone's experience is so individual that you just got to experiment with these and use them how you want, and like don't feel bad about using them or anything like that. If you're enjoying the game more with them, that's infinitely more important than, you know, someone saying that, oh, I did it without it, oh, you don't need it, it's not that hard or whatever. Just ignore all that stuff. It's really not worth your time. Life's too short for shit like that. Just enjoy the game how you want to enjoy it. Now again, environment's looking pretty gorgeous to me. I am glad that this isn't cross-gen. I know I'm sorry to everyone who doesn't have a PS5 yet, and I understand how annoying it must be, but there's got to come a time to move on. It's been almost 3 years now since the PS5 came out, so...
Not exactly the most well-maintained path.
And who do you imagine would maintain it? They've all fled from the Blight.
Like, there has to come a time when we move beyond. Music's nice too. So no kind of like radar map thingy in the corner or anything like that. It's very immersive, as you can see. Outside of battle...
It's hard to believe that anyone used to live here.
The old village of Stillwind is ahead. Not that there's a lot left of it.
Yeah, so I like how clean everything looks as well. And in my opinion, this is probably how similar... This is how it's going to be for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth too. Like, the areas are relatively open, and it gives you a feeling of openness, but like they are kind of more like zones, I think. And so it's not like going to be an open world thing. Like that. 2 gil? Wow. Okay. I guess they're being very realistic about the guild. Just find a couple of cents just dropped. The only thing about, is there like a quick map button here just to see? Yeah, I don't know if there's a shortcut for it. Ah, okay. So this is only the world map. There is no like area map at the moment. So you can't see if there's like an item or something in an area. You won't know. So I'm hoping that all of the items are just the glowy things. So it's quite hard to miss them, but we'll see.
With me.
Let's go, boys. Magic Burst. Use triangle after striking opponents to conjure a magic explosion that deals significant damage. Okay, that's very fast.
So the reports were true.
We should press on. There may be more ahead.
That was very fast and furious, but okay. I do like the design of the goblins though. Like visually, I'm very impressed. It does look very, very nice. It's definitely a blessing for me to be able to play the games in this way. The way I set my recordings and stuff up, I try to enjoy them in the most kind of... I don't know how to explain it, but like the way that I would enjoy it if I wasn't recording. So it's taken a lot of jumping through hoops, but I managed to kind of wire everything up so that it goes through. I can basically play it on my big like living room TV, and this game really deserves it. It looks beautiful. I mean, play it however you can, whatever means you have. But if I was to try and play it on like my monitor instead, which would be more convenient recording-wise, it just wouldn't be the same. So it's nice to be able to enjoy it like this, and the game does look pretty gorgeous. And yeah, at least so far, like the 30 FPS-ness doesn't really bother me. I'm fine with it. But yeah, it is subject to change later. If I hear that the performance mode has been nicely patched up and they've got it running at like a really solid, nice 60.
Welcome to Stillwind.
Have care, my lord.
Yeah, so navigationally it's a bit more kind of freeform because you don't have like a map or anything to guide you. So you will have to more kind of authentically explore, I guess. Like you see a gap in the bushes, you just got to go. You don't know if there is anything there or not. You just have to see. Okay, more Goblin Bros.
There's more.
Okay, some enemies will drop gil or items. Yeah, okay, of course. Loot is gathered automatically by approaching. That's a good quality of life. I prefer that.
Forevermore.
Oh, okay, we did some kind of finisher. Can I do like the square R2 thing? Yeah.
To think you were worried, my lord.
Nice. I gotta remember that one. That's one of the things that it's very easy to obviously get carried away in these games by just like you learn a couple of buttons. You're like, okay, let's just spam square and just throw in the odd spell here and there and stuff. But then you've got to remember your iconic abilities. With these games, that's one of the things I worry about in terms of, not in terms of gameplay, because if I'm enjoying like just even doing those basic things, that's fine. But obviously as a viewing experience, I know that there's, with games that have these more kind of deep action style systems, I think there's a lot of stuff that a lot of new players and like non-action players leave on the table. So by the time you're like 20 hours in, maybe you're not using like 80% of what's available to use, you're just sticking to the same basic things that you were doing from the start of the game. And I think a lot of us do that, but if that's how you, again, if that's how you enjoy the game, then I think that's fine. But yeah, it might not be the most dazzling display of like gameplay prowess, unfortunately, but that's how these blind LPs go, you know how it is. Primary goal is just to enjoy the game as much as I can. But there was a lot of goblins in that last bit. Like they're making them easy, but they're giving you a lot of them. Oh. Really? Wow. Okay. That's... Ooh, okay. That's not even that much, you know. Wow. Okay, fine. Yeah, I've got to find, I guess, stuff that helps me increase my... You probably increase it when you level up anyway. But there might be accessories and equipment and stuff that give you more slots. So again, generally just doing my best to kind of explore everything I can. But oftentimes on a blind run, even when I do that, I still miss a decent chunk of things, but that's to be expected. Again, that's why I always praise the Resident Evil games so much. Almost all of them have a system of letting you know if you've missed an item in an area or not, so you can leave an area knowing that you have everything. I think that's important. Yeah, so I think literally for me, why can't I? So once you go here, you can't like loop back to system. It's a bit silly. You have to go all the way back this way. Ability points. Yeah, we'll look at this later when we actually have some. I think it's a bit early days. Oh wait, I have 80 ability points already? Shit. Okay, fine. Let me save first then, in case I regret something. Whoops, I created 2 by accident, but there you go. So I have 80 points. Interesting. Recommended abilities. Oh. I thought it was just gonna tell me. Oh. I thought it was gonna be like, hey, you should, like, these are the 3 that we recommend you use. Damn, the crow there looks cool. Yeah, I had to reload the save because it gave me the abilities automatically, which I kind of didn't want. I went to cycle through and have a proper look because there was a few that it just left out, which I didn't see. Like this one. Use R1 to recover immediately after being knocked back or down. I mean, for only 10 points, that seems worth learning. I like this one. Yeah, I like these types of ones. Maybe I'll remember to use them. And this is kind of already what the circle move does, no? Okay. So we'll stick with these for now. And we'll try to... So you can't do anything cheap, like from here you can't like lock on and try to fire off a spell or anything. There's no MP also, by the way. So you can fire spells like indefinitely.
Watch out, my lord. Some of their number are spell slingers.
And what a number! We'll all have our hands full here.
Yeah. Okay, so far so good.
And to think you were worried, my lord.
Yeah, they're doing a good job of kind of easing you into it, making you feel like you're actually half decent at the game earlier. I always think that's a good thing, especially for these action games that are trying to still trying to appeal to a wider audience. You've got to make people feel like they're not absolutely horrible at the game to start. It always helps. You don't want to get down on yourself within like the first hour or two that you really suck at the game. This isn't like FromSoft. Okay. Yeah, the inventory space is interesting. You know that I don't love limited inventory space, but I'm sure it'll be fine. So I think from here we can just keep rolling. There might be some times now and then again, because you don't have a map, you're not exactly sure where the exit is for a place, like how you get to the next area. We jump down from there. It's here.
We should be nearing the old village square.
Wow.
It might not be a nest of goblins.
I feel like I'm probably going to do better against singular enemies here in this game. Hordes are harder to deal with.
Sneaky sods. We're trapped!
My lord. I'm working on it. He's the leader. But we'll have to take care of his followers first.
Alright, horny boy, let's see.
As if you have to ask.
Nice try.
So fast and furious. The cooldown is pretty quick, actually. For the iconic abilities, not that bad.
And then there was one.
He's bringing something bigger. Yeah.
He's invited a friend! On your feet, Sir Wade.
Here it comes.
Here we go, first boss of the game. Formidable foes. Larger enemies must be faced with caution. They're far more HP than their smaller counterparts and will often use devastating abilities to overwhelm opponents. Use the Blessing of the Phoenix to not only deal considerable damage to these enemies, but also break their wills. Breaking an enemy can stagger it. Yeah, okay. Gigas.
Founder, that's a swing and a half. Be ready to move when it winds up for another.
Don't have to tell me twice.
Ah, I got hit that time. But I did the swift recovery thing, which is nice. Okay, I think it worked. Partial stagger. Enemies will become partially staggered when their will gauge reduced to 50%, creating a short opening in which combination attacks are easily landed. I'm just staying really far away for now. Yeah, that's why I'm trying to stay far away. Yeah, okay. Stagger it. Extra damage is dealt when the enemies were staggered. Increase when each strike landed. The amount. Yeah, okay. I need to hopefully get one more like iconic thing here. That'd be nice. No, I couldn't get it. Sheesh. Wow. Okay, that wasn't too bad. I'm gonna use a potion here. I'm not gonna take any risks. Oof. Yeah, it definitely hit hard.
Not quite.
Yeah, the timing is still gonna need a bit of practice.
That'll have to do for now.
Come on.
Yeah, that one is good dodging practice. Nearly, come on. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Ooh, nice, a level up too. We'll take that. Following important battles, separate results screen appear displaying battle performance and rewards. Rewards are based on performance and may include items, gear, ability points, and experience points. Okay, sure. I like this because, again, it doesn't give you a grade. It's not like, sorry guys, that was a C grade, F grade battle. It's just like, yeah, okay, you can probably get better shit, but at least you got some experience and you got something from it too. So again, it's that feeling of not making a player feel shit from the get-go. So I think, again, it works pretty well. Let's take that. Again, I think it's just good motivation for the player. On subsequent playthroughs especially, the grading stuff might matter more, but...
Come back and fight, you coward! After him, before he summons the rest.
Right. Gear can significantly improve attributes, but only when equipped, of course. Yep. Okay. Let's have a look then. So I now have this. Right, I have slightly better defense now as a result. I have more ability points. So these are the bigger ones, 300. So yeah, I forgot to use... I already have the charge magic, right? Yeah, I just don't have the master thing yet. Cool. I wonder what happens when you master it. It doesn't really tell you, does it? Mastery extends trigger window. Nice, okay. Yeah, I want to do this. Definitely. So I'm going to hold off on any upgrades for now. So we managed to make it through our first boss battle. Got hit like 5 times, but I think it was good. The big swing move obviously is very like repeated precision dodges needed and stuff. That's where those items, the story mode items, will help you dodge those relatively easily, I think. Okay.
There he is.
Little shit. I was trying to not get too sucked into chasing him in case I missed like an extra little path for an item, but I don't think so. It's leading us towards a Malboro, isn't he? There we go.
This ends now.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
What's in there?
Oh man.
Bloody hell!
Warble is far south.
Keep clear of its maw, my lord.
I'm sorry guys,
That
it's a
thing's breath
Malboro.
is worse than its bite.
Oh nice, the charge shot did well. These things are generally quite weak to fire, but...
Nice try.
And well, since we don't have MP,
That reeks!
that's not too bad, you know.
Said, stay away from its mouth.
Oh, I got hit this time. It recovered pretty fast. I was expecting it to take longer. A lot of HP though, you can see it. Yeah, it didn't do that much more than a normal move. Okay, that was pretty good.
Where's it going?
Yeah.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Rip. Shit.
No, you don't!
Wow, okay. Sure. Ah, cinematic strike. When the screen flashes blue like this during a pivotal moment, press square before the time runs out to deliver a devastating blow. I see. Okay, sure. And the battle goes on.
Before it recovers!
Yeah, not sure what else I can do other than that, but you can see after all that it still has 2/3 of its HP. Trying to stay behind it as well.